Good morning. This is Tammy, Texas Desert Rose. Thank you for joining me again. So, I had promised a podcast recording or a show on health and things that I've done to improve the quality of my life. And yeah, YouTube didn't upload it, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't. It wasn't too long, although it was 45 minutes. I've done longer before, so I'm not sure. I'm going to try this again in hopes that it works. Let me just do a little snippet here, and I'll go into detail more, and that is absolutely my intention, is to go into detail more later. About 10 months ago, I guess, December 8th to be exact, I decided that I needed to do something to increase my energy. There was a whole lot of, quarantine mess, stress, transition from the Middle East to home, then to Korea. And those are always, no matter how many years I've done that, it's stressful and hard to navigate. Travel is not for the faint of heart, period. It's exciting when you see the pictures and the videos and all that, but it is definitely difficult. And that's when there isn't quarantine stuff going on and all the airline stress and things like that. So I decided I wanted to get healthier ultimately. I'm in my 50s now. I can't take some things for granted. Like most of you, I've lost people to death and otherwise, and I wanted to have a better quality life. I wanted to be able to go up and down stairs without hurting, without breathing hard, and all of that. So I knew I needed to do something different. And I've dropped weight before, but this time I really wanted to do it. I think every time I've wanted to, but I wanted to do something that was sustainable for my life, for the rest of my life. And, I'm probably one of the last ones to really research and look into this, but two magic words: intermittent fasting. From what all my research has told me, and I've done a lot of it and listened to people's experiences, it's been really successful for them, whether they eat healthy or not. And I wanted to do the whole thing. I don't do things halfway. I grab it and I really research and try to learn and do it to the nth degree. And then if it works, it works. So all my research told me that this would work if I stick to it. So I did. I went to the doctor in Korea to do, overall medical check. And a disclaimer here, you guys, I am not medically trained. I'm only sharing my experience here. My experience, strength, and hope, as they say. Take what you need, leave the rest. Definitely see your doctor to do checks. And I know that I was pushing the end of going into high blood pressure, cholesterol, all of that. I've never been a really unhealthy eater. I've always been mindful of it, but my body was taking in too much sugar in the form of diet drinks, in the form of carbs and things like that. And I convinced myself, because I didn't eat sugar, that I was doing okay. And that I've always been a pretty religious walker. I thought I was doing everything I needed, but my body was not participating. You add on top of that a very, very stressful job that I had, and before moving to Korea. And also I was anemic and didn't know about it. Bleeding ulcers, undetected. I just kept getting tired and more tired, and the need for a hiatal hernia surgery. All of those, none of which I knew. They were all discovered, emergency surgery, and I didn't know how sick I was. So, December 8th, 2021, I decided to start intermittent fasting. Now, keep in mind, I didn't jump right in and just go into this massive long fast. It's not recommended. That if you consider this, do your own research, but you can't just jump into it. It's recommended, and I did start with 12 hours, of which 8 I was sleeping. And So yeah, I started, where I didn't eat after like 6 p.m. That's what worked for me in my schedule. And then I didn't, let's see, the next morning I would have breakfast. And then slowly I started, I'd do that for about 4 or 5 days. And then I pushed the hours out until I reached what for me was the sweet spot of 18, 19 hours fasting. And I struggled for a couple of weeks with blood sugar dropping, hunger, all of that. But to be honest with you, my hardest was stopping the diet drinks. It's always going to be like my temptation. That was the hardest. I would have given up food in a second to have a diet soda. But I knew that had to go as well. One, because it spikes insulin. And why am I going to go fast and then spike the insulin? And two, my emotional connection to it. I didn't want that. I didn't want the unhealth of that. That's no different than the carbs and the sugar. So that was my number one. And then I also researched and did a form of keto, which was more paleo, where I'm able, because I love vegetables and I wanted to keep those in my diet. I really did. And I am a meat eater. The important part was protein, fat, and the fiber. Those were my three: protein, fat, and fiber. So during my eating window, which to this day, and I'll do this for the rest of my life, with the exceptions of weekends, holidays, is I eat at about 11:30 a.m. and I don't eat after 5 p.m. And my body, it's so easy. And my results, it's funny to me. Somebody will come and ask me, "Oh my gosh, you look great. What are you doing?" And I'll tell them, I'm like, "Well, does it work?" Well, you just asked me what I'm doing, so something's working. And it's not a saggy skin result, because in the fasting, the autophagy eats the dead cells, and so literally it's eating up the cells that you have that would cause the saggy skin. Also making sure you get all your macros, your protein. Fat is very important. Healthy fat, which is your avocado oils, your coconut oils, your olive oils. The other oils are not healthy. They are not, they keep inflammation and all sorts of things going on in your body. So highly recommended that you really look at that. I easily have an avocado a day, and which is not easy here in the land of sand, because fruits and vegetables are expensive. They can be very expensive. So, but that is just important for the quality of my skin, and making sure that you stay satiated. If you're not taking in the good fats, you're not going to stay fulfilled and be more tempted to eat and eat bad things, because we don't crave salad when we're tempted, right? So there's that. Paleo, as I was saying, making sure you've got your magnesium, potassium, very important, and taking that in any way you can. And since then, I've done more research on making sure I get my selenium. I won't go into why, because I'll tell you that Dr. Berg, B-E-R-G, Thomas DeLauer, D-E-L-A-U-E-R, very good sources for that. Dr. Fung, F-U-N-G, the premier expert on intermittent fasting, and he pushes keto. A lot of them, they don't push keto, but they educate on keto. Paleo has been the best answer for me, and definitely works. I'm down now, as I was going to tell you, 55 pounds. And to say it was easy, I can't even tell you. It was definitely easy, and I feel energy off the charts. I feel amazing. I have the energy to, instead of dreading going to go work out, I'm not intense on my workouts either. 4 or 5 times a week, I do 30 minutes to 45 minutes of, total. I do my cardio, I do my weights, I can tell you that my labs, my doctor results are amazing these days. Blood pressure, 106/70. Like, what? That's amazing. I've never had it that level. The energy was the real convincer, though. I feel joy. I feel healthy. There's a saying that I have heard of a lot of times of, you don't lose weight to get healthy, you get healthy to lose weight. And that's why it started rolling off, and I started feeling happy and joy, even to the point where I don't focus on the scale. I highly recommend not weighing every day. That just starts another obsessive cycle. I weigh maybe 1 every 2 weeks, and just to make sure I'm on point, because looking the other way has never worked for me. But watching it obsessively, for me, that would be obsessive. Weighing every day is not my answer either, because it takes my peace of mind away. That's another thing. If you have a lot of chaos in your life, it's going to be a lot more difficult to do this. It's not impossible, but a lot more difficult. Having as much peace as you can. I mean, we all want that. We all desire it. We're just not always sure how to get that, and I'll do more shows on that. But to have a sense of peace it's going to keep the cravings down. It's also, you want to watch out for your saboteurs around you, those who, they don't realize it sometimes, but they're a little threatened by the fact that you're working on yourself and trying to eat healthy, and therefore they will do things to sabotage what you're doing, feeding, criticizing. I can't believe you're doing that thing again. You're too obsessed. You're too this, too that. You know who they are. So just limit how much you share and how much exposure you have to that, because it's going to end up hurting you. So I'm trying to think of other things. Definitely vitamins and minerals. Apple cider vinegar, that lowers the blood sugar, and it does so many things in the body I can't even tell you. So what I do is, during my eating window, apple cider vinegar does not break a fast. However, the collagen that I put in it does. That's for my skin and muscles and all that stuff, because as we age, the problem is not necessarily the wrinkles. It is the fact that we have bone loss, which is shrinking our body. And so there's a lot of reasons to consider doing and research and consider doing the collagen. I do collagen in my apple cider vinegar. Take that. And the collagen's what breaks, because it has protein. It breaks a fast, so I do it during my eating window. And when I'm fasting, I'm drinking water, unsweet tea, unsweet coffee. I've also discovered a product that can really help with the sweetening, which does not. It actually has been shown to lower blood sugar. And that is allulose, ALLULOSE. It's pretty unheard of. Even my cardiologist that I checked in with at home didn't know about it and was excited about it. It does not increase glucose. It does not increase insulin. It actually reduces it. So do some research on that. Check it with your doctor on that as well. Don't be surprised if they've never heard of it. But it's really helped me with sweetening my coffee and my tea. And fat does not break a fast, so in the morning with my coffee, I have full fat cream, and that really makes a difference with, for me, I can't do black coffee. I'm sure I would eventually get used to it, but with allulose, I don't have to worry about it, and the full fat cream does not, and I can have my coffee the way I'm used to, and it gets me appetite-wise until I can actually have lunch. So that's me in a nutshell. Please feel free to reach out and ask me questions. I'll be sharing this video on my Facebook page, Texas Desert Rose. And if you're on Facebook seeing this and you want to check it out on YouTube, just put your quotes around Texas Desert Rose, TEXAS, DESERT, ROSE, no spaces, and it'll be able to pull it up, and that way you can subscribe, please. Like, follow, share, comment, all of that. You can send me messages on Facebook, and I can answer any questions or concerns you have. Thank you for tuning in, and it's really great to have an opportunity to get back on here. And blessings, and take care.